I'm pretty sure that the majority of you have paragraph writing down. You get the structure, you understand the structure, your analysis explosions are getting better. Keep getting those practice responses in for feedback, because with practice you start to improve. But the introduction is where you sort of get off on the wrong foot, and that means that your thesis isn't very strong, and so it doesn't matter how good your analysis is. If you are already putting the marker in a bad headspace about your competency to analyze a question, then it's not going to go well for you. So you need to consider the directive of the question. How will your argument be framed? Always explain why your position is your position. So then this is your textual justification. No shopping lists. So back away slowly from the power of three themes. Isolation, love, and loneliness. No. Pick one of those and give me three things about one of those things, if you are going to be doing the power of three. No shopping lists. No broad generalization of or stating of themes. This essay will explore love in 1984. Cute, what about it? So really drill down. You need to be showing really specific, careful, philosophical, deep thinking about the questions. And don't leave us guessing. I do not want to have to put a single question mark on an essay, right? And that needs to be in relation to your argument and your expression. When I have no idea what you are trying to say, that is not good. So, thesis writing. This is an argument which is formed by your opinion and knowledge. What do you know and understand about the poems in relation to this question? What do you know and understand about the text in relation to this question? This is not a case of pre-prepping an essay and framing it to fit a question. It's what's your perspective. Every single rubric has personal response in it, informed personal response. So of course your knowledge is informing your essay writing. You will sometimes be presented a thesis within a question, and you'll either have to expand on that position or counter it. This depends on the directive. So if you're expanding on this thesis, that's most likely explain or analyze or discuss questions. If you have to counter it, this might be to what extent, evaluate, justify. Alrighty? Always frame your thesis based on your opinion. Back yourselves, girls. You have demonstrated the most outstanding thinking in this unit. I want that confidence to carry to the other units. You have absolutely smashed it. You are existing at a level that Miss Knight and I would be hoping you would exist at after the trial. That's the level of maturity and individual responsibility every single one of you is demonstrating in relation to your writing in this class. So you need to back your opinions. Back them. Don't just read some study guide and think that's what I'm going for. No. What do you think? Believe in yourself a little bit. English is a philosophical subject with no solutions, only enriching discussions, which we have had plenty of this term. So make sure that you are bringing that knowledge into your essays. Now I'm going to give you a few samples of questions and how you approach these different questions. So, English is an essential subject to learn. To what extent do you agree with this subject? With this statement. Now, what you need to do for this question is to what extent. I need to know your position. I need to know why that is your position. And to what extent. Now, to what extent questions really trip you girls up because you always say, to a great extent, to a less extent. No, that's basic. All right? No basic writers in this room. This is also what I'm talking about when you've got a thesis that you need to work with. The thesis for this question is English is an essential subject to learn. That's my thesis of the question. What's your opinion though? Okay? What are you going to do with that? Do I agree with that statement? Yeah, sort of. It has its merits, I suppose, but I don't know if it's entirely essential because, I come from a perspective where I think, creative subjects are far more important. Then again, English does create the foundation for a lot of subjects, so, it certainly has value, but I don't know if it's entirely essential. Right, again, this is coming from your perspective, your opinion, your knowledge. So, sample theses to a great extent. English is an essential subject to learn as it forms the foundation for comprehension and critical thinking. Look at me expanding on that thesis. I'm not just saying the question. Well done, girls. You say you agree with the statement and you write that down and that's all you leave. Well done. You can read and you can copy words. Pass, year 12. No. Where's the why? Tell me why. It's essential because it's the foundation for comprehension and critical thinking. So I would imagine that this essay would talk about how comprehension and critical thinking is important for all learning. Thus, English is an essential subject to a moderate extent. While English forms the basis of learning through reading and comprehension skills, it is essential that students develop a well-rounded, I believe that's supposed to be, education. Okay, so that's a moderate extent. So yes, forms the foundation through reading and comprehension, but we also need a range of subjects in order to fully develop the learner. So that's a bit of column A, a bit of column B. Not at all. In a world where building and creating is the focus, English is becoming less important for this type of learning. Instead, it is crucial that students learn creative and STEM-based subjects such as science and design. So no. You've said English is essential to learn. To what extent? Not at all. I completely disagree. Here's my thesis, here's my why. Do we notice, in all of these examples, I have not said great extent, moderate extent, or not at all. It's all in my modality. You know, well, my position is based on my expression. I haven't used the word extent at all, okay? These are little sentence scaffolds. If you obviously just take out the question star, which is things on English, you can see the words I've used. While English forms the basis, it is essential that students, you could even put in there also develop. So we're getting that like discursive sort of modality. Well, this is important, this is also important, like that moderate modality. Here, it's far more firm, forms a foundation. Really strong, powerful words, firm and direct. And down here, equally firm and direct, but countering the point. Becoming less important. Instead, it is crucial that we do these things. And again, I'm using the language of the question. I'm saying, I know that crucial and essential are in a similar lexical field. So look at my vocabulary. Right. English is an essential subject to learn. Discuss. What do you need to do? What is your position? Why is your position? Discussion requires an examination of both sides to reach a conclusion. Discuss questions typically require an in-depth answer that takes into account all aspects of the debate concerning a research topic or argument. You must demonstrate reasoning skills with this type of question by using evidence to make the case for or against a research topic or argument. So you still need to address both elements of the question, but you can send your conclusions in a particular direction. Very similar to a to what extent question. But you still need to unpack and examine whatever the thesis is giving you. So a sample for this one would be, English forms the basis of learning for all students as the importance of mastering reading and comprehension is inescapable. However, it is important to recognise the subject's position as the base of learning. This means that while it is crucial to learn English, other subjects such as science for its reasoning and visual arts for its creating is also crucial. So I've looked at both sides, okay? And my overall thesis is that we need that well-rounded education. So in a similar way to the moderate extent, that's usually where you'll land with discuss questions, again, depending on your perspective and opinion. And again, in this essay, I'm expecting a paragraph or two on reading and comprehension and how English forms the foundation for all learning. And then I'm also expecting to see a paragraph on the importance of science for developing reasoning skills and the importance of visual arts and the significance of creation, which is the most higher order thing that we can ever engage in. Creation is at the top of the learning pyramid. It is the hardest skill that you need to master. Analyse how English is crucial to the development of a good learner. What you need to do. Position. Why? It's your position. Analyse requires you to deconstruct ideas. Okay? These are all in a similar vein. Essay questions that ask you to analyse a particular topic or argument expect a thorough deconstruction of the essay subject. In other words, this word requires you to break the essay topic down into its fundamental parts. So our fundamental parts here is that English is crucial in the development of a good learner. So importance of English, development, good learner. There are our parts. Sample thesis. Developing quality learners is a long and complex process. The skills and attributes developed within English contribute to this process in a crucial way. English develops critical reading skills, equipping learners with the ability to dissect information. English also develops effective communicators for a variety of contexts. Finally, this complex subject allows students to express themselves creatively and imaginatively, which is crucial in developing them as capable learners. I've extracted all of the parts. And there is voice there is perspective there. The language isn't overly complex. I've got connectives in there. You know how I like a short sentence at the start, nice and punchy. Okay? Now, you need to think about what you need to do to get better. Practice. So, we will be doing short, sharp introductions. And you need to be following this process. And it's always this, what's your position? Why? Why is this your position? And then you go in and you start justifying. Some of you in the sample essays that you're writing, they're too short. Like, you need to elaborate as much as possible in the introduction for two reasons. One, tells your marker where you're going, no surprises. Two, if you get to your third paragraph and you go, oh crap, what was I going to write about again? It's completely fallen out of my brain. Oh my God, I've forgotten everything. I'm going to fail, I'm going to fail, I'm going to fail. My HSC is ruined. My life is over. Go back to your introduction. Oh yeah, I was going to write about that thing. Cool. Okay? So it's also, your nice little safety net. If you are steaming through your third essay in whatever subject really, and you suddenly have a blank. And it's a great little memory trigger for you. Alrighty? So that's essay writing.